Hello, good morning, everybody. Today, we want to take a look at rules of base numbers. So, one of the rules says numbers must not be equal to or greater than the base number under consideration. This simply means that a number given expressed in a particular base, each digit of the number should not be equal or greater than the base itself. So, the second one says base numbers of the same base can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and can be divided. Otherwise, it must first be converted to base 10 or equal base before the required operation is done. Okay? It means when you have number and want to perform operation, the only way that operation can be performed is that they can either be in the same base, okay, before you can do that, or you convert them to base 10 before you do that, then you convert them back when you're done. That is if they are not in the same base. So the last one, the last rule here is when subtracting base numbers, the number carried from nearby to support the others becomes the base in operation added to the original number in that position. So it means that when you're trying to subtract a higher number from a lower number, the best thing for you to do, you borrow from the nearby neighbor, right? Now the number you are borrowing seems to be 1, but it's actually not 1. It becomes the base. Okay, that's what we are talking about here. So you discover that all these rules will be applied as we move on now. So let's take a look at these basic operations of base number. The first example says find the sum of the octal numbers 174 and 233. So the second question says simplify 2311 plus 213. So now let's take a look at the first one. This is the arrangement. So here we have 4 plus 3. Okay, 4 plus 3 is 7. It's going to be 7 written down. We just write the 7. Why? Because the 7 is not up to the base. The base is octal base, and octal bases, they are all base 8 numbers. Okay, so it's not up to 8, so you can put down the 7. Then go to the second row, second column. You have 7 plus 3. You can see 7 plus 3 is going to give you 10. Around this side, you have 10, isn't it? So the 10 is already what? This 10 is more than the base. So in that case, you need to divide the 10 by the base and write out the remainder. So the remainder is what is written. So the 1 as a value, you take it to the next column. So that's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 2. That will give us 4. Okay. So you can put down the 4 because 4 is not up to base 8. I hope this is well analyzed. Let's take a look at the second question. The second question says 2311 plus 213. In base 8, we are adding up. Okay. Now, you can see that this second question is actually to be done in base what? In base 4. So, if you obtain a value, after adding up, you obtain a value that is up to 4 or greater than 4, you have to perform the same operation you performed here. So I'm not going to be repeating the operation, okay? So you have to always use what I did here now to do yours while you are proceeding, okay? So you have 1 plus 3, that's going to give you 4. So you can't write the 4 because the base is 4. So you have to say 4 divided by 4, that will give you 1, remainder 0. So you put down your 0 and move the 1 to this side. So that's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 1, that will give us what? 3. Isn't it? That will give us 3. So you can put down your 3. So now, the next thing is, you'll say 3 plus 2, that will give you 5, isn't it? 3 plus 2 is supposed to give you 5. So 5 is already more than the base. So you can say 5 divided by 4. That will give you 1, remainder 1. So you can put the 1 down there, which is the 1 here. Okay. Then move the remaining 1 to the next part. So by the time you add that 1 to 2, That's going to give you 3. 3 plus 0 will give you 3. So this is done in what? In base 4. I hope this is understood. You can repeat the video to get maximum understanding. Okay. So now let's forge ahead to subtraction of number bases. So let's take a look at this example. It said evaluate 2311 minus 213. So you can see it's like the same question in the previous one that I added, but in this one I want to subtract the two of them. So let's take a look at how it's going to be done. So you arrange the number accordingly. Now, if you remember, one of our rules is that what? When you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, okay? When you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, you have to borrow. And what you are borrowing becomes the base. So let's take a look at this. If I say 1 minus 3 is not possible, isn't it? So I have to borrow from here. So what I'm borrowing from here is actually the base. So the base becomes plus 4, okay? So you have to say 4 plus 1, that will give you 5, isn't it? 5 minus 3, it will give you what? 2. You can see that. Now what is remaining here now is actually 0, isn't it? Again, 0 minus 1 is not possible, so I have to borrow from here again. So what I'm borrowing is also what? 4. So that 4 plus 0, don't forget, it's not more 1 that is there, it's 0. So 4 plus 0 is going to give you 4. 4 minus 1 is going to give us what? 3. Can you see that now? So now what I have left here, don't forget this was the place that I borrowed from to get this 4 as a base. So the 2, then the 4, the 3 becomes what? 2. So you have 2 minus 2, that gives you what? 0. So you can bring the other 2 down since you didn't borrow anything from there. So this is done in what? This is done in base what? In base 4. Okay. So this is how to subtract. Wherever you go, anywhere you are, this is how you always what? Subtract under what? Bases. Okay. So this is a simple simple operations we just performed. That is include addition and subtraction. Okay, I hope this class has something to add up in our knowledge. So I hope to see you guys next class. Stay tuned for my next video and make sure don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Please. Remember, knowledge is what is power. Without knowledge, the world becomes what? Static. See you next class. Bye.